we are starting now the chapter on the trail of the earliest people. So now we will be searching what these people have done. You remember last chapter we discussed that we are actually detectives, and now we will be finding out how was these early men and how they lived their life. Do they write something for us? Is it the historical period? No, it is the time of prehistorical period, where they have not written anything. They had no idea how to write. But even then, how many things we can find out keeping our ears and eyes open using the archaeological sources? Let us see that. Now these people, the earliest people, they move a lot. Whenever you will see a video, you will see some clips, whatever, or the cinema, movies, you will find that some group of people, they are moving from one place to another. What was the reason? Why these people are relocating from one place to another? Reasons for relocation was mainly four. They are the hunter and gatherer. So their first object was food to gather. In the morning, before you come to school, you have nothing to worry, or you need not to pack your search for your food. Your everything is ready. This was not the same with this Paleolithic people or the prehistoric people. They need to search for their food every day, every time when they are hungry. Don't you feel the similarity with some of the animals who are also searching food even today? A lion, when it is hungry, it is searching for its food. People first, they have to search for their food when they need it, because they don't have the way we are storing it. They never had a refrigerator to keep all the vegetables or food fresh, and whenever they need it to get them, just only opening the refrigerator. The system was not like that, you know all. So these people, they were hunter and gatherer. The first and foremost thing in life is food. So in search of food, these people are relocating from one place to another. First was the fruits. Naturally, whatever the fruits are available, or the cereals, whatever naturally available. At that point of time, these people had no idea how to grow their own plant, how to domesticate their own plant. They don't have that idea. So they relocate. Once in one place, all the fruits are over, or the grains they find out, they all consume the entire thing. They have no other way out to relocate from that place to some other place which is enriched with some fruits or other type of foods available there. Nextly, they were the hunters also. They were chasing the animals to get their flesh as a food. So as the animals are always moving, they are moving from one place to another, even for their search of food. People also following those animals, the hunters, they used to move from one place to another. The third reason was season. Seasonal changes also sometimes that force them to migrate from one place to another. You can take example of these migrating birds. What these migrating birds are doing? We have seen many Siberian ducks are coming to India in the winter season, because the winter weather is suitable for them to come and settle here, because in winter India the climate is so pleasant that they can get their food also easily. But if they stay in Siberia, it is all frozen and it is not possible for them to get any food. That's the reason they migrate from Siberia to India. The same way, even these people in the Paleolithic age or the prehistoric age, they also, depending on the season, they used to move from one place to another. It is not only the climate, but some of the seasonal fruits. Some of the areas, the seasonal fruits are well available. So to gather them, to get them easily, these people used to move from one place to another place. The next one is in search of water. It is not always so easy to get water at the same condition. Mainly when the ages, there was a long time when we experienced ice age. The water was all frozen as ice. So they need to get some water, they need to get some free flowing river, they need to come down to a location where they can get their water abundantly. So for in search of water also, people relocate from one place to another. Now, were they not going to meet their own relatives and their friends? Yes, definitely they do that. As the way you also relocate from one place to another place, you go from one place to another place to meet your relatives or neighbors or friends, they also used to do that. Sometimes if they hunt a huge animal, they used to share it with their neighboring tribes also. And at the same time, the other tribes, the neighboring tribes also share in the same way. So they have a very good relation. They used to keep a good relation to protect themselves from outsider also. So for that reason also, we have seen that they are moving from one place to another. Now how we came to know about these people? I told you they never wrote down anything. Then even how we came to know that? I told you historians, they are archaeologists, they are also detectives. And when you are reading history, keep your detective mind open. You will also learn many things that is not written in your book if your mind is open. Sources of information for this age is tools they made. They made many tools. Now, first we have seen they have made huge big tools, and then they cut down, they make them short, and then they make them usable. First they need very much like the muscle power to use those tools, and then we can see the brain is developing and they are using their brain power. So don't you say it is an evolution? Definitely it is. And that is the way people also started learning, gathering knowledge, how to control his life in a better way. So these tools, various tools we find, maybe some few are to cut vegetables, some few are to cut bones, even the flesh, some few are to hunt a fish. So using the stone tools, we find that people are, we find that how they live, how they use it, we can find that. Some, even in the this age, we find that they have attached the handle of the bone or wood, like they use it as an axe, they use as bow and arrow, like an arrow they have used it. They came to know that it is easy to hunt an animal from the far away safe place using bows and arrows. So the new development of technology, making weapons, the tools, they now know how to dig the earth and get some of the roots that they can eat. Some of the roots, they are tasty, they can digest it and they can eat it, they are easily available also. So they started using that. These tools are the major evidences to get to know about this Paleolithic people. Next we are coming to the artifacts. Artifacts means, no, that was not the time when people made a lot of artifact and we can find from there. But some of the things what they did, how they used, even seeing that, finding that, we can find that yes, people, they started using them. They started, the time when they started using fire, even these artifacts are helping us to know about them. Now, how they choose a place where they can live. First of all, if this option is given to you, that you choose a place where you want to live, definitely you will search for all the modern amenities available. You will search for internet, you will search for Wi-Fi availability, you will search for some other basic things now that is a part of our modern life. But their time, their main criteria was food. The first and foremost thing for them was wherever the food is available, they settle down in that place. Firstly, secondly, they definitely, not only the food available, the land must be fertile and there must be abundant water supply by a river or a stream or some other way. Where the water is available, people settle down in that place. And this, as the stone tools are important, people try to find places where good quality stones are also available, because this is the time when people use only stone tools. They don't have any idea of any other metals, and they know that they need to change, they need to modify those stones that they can use for hunting or preying the animals, they can use for food. Not only that, even they can dig the earth, they can cut down the tree to they can get some fruits also easily by using stone tools. They can chop out, they can use stone tools to get some cereals from the trees, all these way. So some places where these resources are available, they settle down all those places. These places, we give them a name as sites. The sites means there we can find many things, right? Remaining of the tools, remaining of their pits where they cook or they made some tools, those areas, we call them as factory sites also. They made, used and then left maybe those places when the entire resource is used by them. Then they relocated in search of a new site or a new place where they can get those resources available again. Now, this is the time, this time is known as Stone Age. People, they know only stone, wood to use it. So other than stone and wood, they don't have any idea to use other metals. Metals were not yet at that time, that was not invented even, discovered even. And they, the stone tools, they are of two types mainly. One is megalith, one is microlith. Stone tools are of two types. One is megalith, one is microlith. Megalithic stones are huge in size. Mega, that means big in size. So, the starting of Paleolithic age or old stone age, we can find that people that at that point of time, they are using megalithic tool. They are throwing, simply they cannot use in some other way. They are just throwing it on the animals. If the target they can meet, then the animal got hurt and they can anyway capture that animal. Then they started not only capturing the animal but also domesticating them. Not only for food but for other reasons also. They need to catch those animals. They improved to the microlithic stone tools. Microliths are small one. Maybe the animal will get hurt a little, and that was the easiest way to catch it. So even the arrows, bows, arrowhead or the eggs, these all they started using as microlith. Now, to make this type of, from megalith to microlithic stone tools, they use two types of procedure. One is known as stone and stone procedure. Another one is known as pressure flaking. What are they? Stone on stone is, they used to hold the core or the main stone in one hand, and in another hand they used to take another stone. Now, by striking the other stone again and again, they used to give the desired shape to the stone, make it literally sharp or usable the way they want to use it. That is stone on stone. Next is pressure flaking, where a big pressure is given to the stone to make it to the desired shape. Pressure flaking, here the core was placed on a firm surface, and the hammer stone, the other stone that they use, we call it as hammer stone. So, you used to hammer it to get the desired shape and size done. That is known as pressure flaking. Now, this was the time when we can say there was a major change in the life of these people, this Paleolithic man or the early ape man, that is discovery of fire. Fire was something that used to scare them a lot, because they cannot control fire. They have said many a time that a huge area is burned, maybe the huge area is burned because fire was existing on the earth, but they cannot control fire. Discovery of fire, we want to say by this word that this was the time when man started controlling fire. Maybe someone used some animal flesh that is burnt in fire before. Rather than eating raw flesh, they find it is tastier, so they started burning it So to do that, they need to control the fire, the use of fire, they need to control it. Even today, there are many tribes that is a tradition for them that they never let the fire goes off. Some or other way, one mode of fire is burning in their tribe. That is a tradition. Because this was the time when, after discovering how to control the fire, they started using it abruptly, and they cannot afford to lose their fire. If they lose, if the fire they lose the fire, if they that is off, the fire is off, then they need to search for another mode to get the fire. In search to get a fire, maybe many incidents happen. They may find that if they are rubbing wood against another dry wood, they are getting fire, or maybe they find that they are rubbing the stones also, they can get fire. So they started inventing many other ways to get fire and then to control it. In Kurnool caves, we have find the traces of ash, which are giving us even some of the charcoals of long back. By carbon dating, we can find their dates, and that is giving us the evidences that they started using fire at that point of time. So discovery of fire is one of the major incidents that happened in the life of early human being, which helped them to control their life a lot, other than moving as an hunter and gatherer from one place to another, and even to live the life of animal and to in the change to live the life of a human being. Next, we are coming to the changing environment. Around 12,000 years ago, there is a massive change in the environment. You know that beforehand it was ice age. So the climate was not that suitable for human being even to live on the earth. Almost 12,000 years ago, there was a beautiful climate change that made climate possible for common people to live in. So even the water resources increased. They are getting some perennial rivers that are the source, which sourced from the icebergs. So throughout the year, they are getting water supply in those rivers. So they started settling down in those river banks. Not even that, as the water supply increases, the climate changed, the land became fertile, and human beings started domesticating plants and animals. Who has done first, we don't know. Maybe male, maybe female part of the tribe, but they started using those cereals or the plants for their own purpose. They now know how to grow them, and as they started growing their plants in a particular land, they were not in a way to move those lands because they cannot take the land with them. So they settled down in that place. They domesticated some few animals which helped them to get flesh or egg or milk in that way. This was also a time when the grains also that started improving with the climate. The way they used to get the cereals or the grains the first hand when it was in the ice age, it was very much confined in a particular season. But as the climate changed, naturally the growing period for the grains also, it was most of the time in the year, and they are getting those grains abundantly in the fertile land. Names and dates, the paleo, we have divided this time period mostly into 4, that is Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic and Chalcolithic. Paleo means old, lithic means stone. So Paleolithic is old stone age. This is the time when people first started using huge stone. I told you the megaliths. The huge stone they started using. By the end of Paleolithic age, we find that they started using microlithic, but they are actually the mixture of microlithic and megalithic tools. This age we called as Mesolithic age. People believe that this is the time period when fire was discovered and people started controlling fire. There was a rapid change in the life of people. Mesolithic time period is very short. Next we find the time of Neolithic time period, when the new stone age, the mostly people started using microliths. No more megaliths in the society. Microlithic stone age, people started settling down in the villages, domesticated plants and animals, and it was easy. There were no more hunters and gatherers who were moving from one place to another only in search of food. Rather, they settled down, domesticated their own food, the way to get their own food, and they are called as a tribe or as a villagers. Now, the next part is a Chalcolithic age. We will discuss about them when the metals, or Chalco means copper, when the metal, like the first, I hope you all know that the first invented, first discovered metal was copper, and they invent it in a way that they can use it of their own. So, the Chalcolithic age is the last one when the stone was used as well as the metal. Mostly the rock paintings we find in the Paleolithic, end of Paleolithic and Mesolithic age. In Neolithic age, people started making their own houses, maybe the wooden houses or the rock houses, whatever it may be, they started settling down. So, the rock paintings are mostly, we can see the wild animals, those who are, people are chasing those wild animals or they are hunting those wild animals. So, it is depicting their life, how their life was, we can find seeing those rock paintings. These many of the caves where people live, they started painting on their walls. Why they did it, it is very tough to say. Maybe that was one of the way they started communicating. This is by using these paintings, being a detective, I told you, we can find out that which all animals were domesticated at that time. We have seen the pictures of dogs which are accompanying a human being when they are hunting, they in a hunting scene, or we have seen that the people are using horses, even they are climbing on horses while they are killing some animal. And what all animals they know, like they make a painting of a fierce bull, which that means that these all animals they were well aware of. The physics, the way the physics they have drawn it, that give us a clear evidence that these people they have observed these animals very closely, though they are wild in nature, but they started observing those animals very closely, and they drew their pictures very well. Who did the first agriculture? We don't know. We cannot claim that someone has done it. It is not that way. People started learning it. Maybe they find that the cereals, when they in a particular season, when they ripe, when they grew up, they ripe and then they fall down as seeds, and that gives birth to the other trees to get some more cereals. So they started collecting those seeds and they used it maybe in some of the fertile land. Now these people they started gathering those plants and they started domesticating them. They started drawing by making their own stone tools depending on their necessity. When they felt like this type of stone tools are needed to do some business easier, they started using them. They made their stone tools. They are at least there. They maybe the men and women they divided their part from this time only. Mostly the men they are going for hunting even then, because that was they need some muscle power, where the women they are mostly involved in domestic part like agriculture, or even domesticating animals and get some food and meat from the domesticated animals also. Now how they domesticate animals? Maybe they put some food nearby their, kept some food nearby their huts or their caves when animals came there. and they started behaving as their friends in that way, sometimes by forcefully, by giving them food, by they brought them, they catch them, they brought them to their area, and then they started feeding them, made them their the way they wanted to work them, many way. There are a number of sites also we have observed, which we observed. These are giving the evidences that whatever we are claiming, though it is not written, but whatever we are claiming, they are true, and they are giving us strong evidences that yes, this happened in a point of time. That is the way that we evolved from ape man to human being. The way first man started using only the muscle power like the animals just to get their food, from there becoming a rock painter, or from there to make a village, a community, and to settle down in a social life. These evidences are giving us these are the evidences that are giving us the actual scenario, what may happen at that point of time. Some of the sites we find where large number of tools we find, we can call them as factories, stone tool factories, where people they made their they used to gather together and they used to make their food, stone tools. Some of the places we find where most of the artifacts related to cooking we have found, where we can say that people may be using those places to make their food. So some of the smaller sites, there are evidences that we can say that they use the way they use the water sources also. So to make something, whatever the resources they used, these also are the evidences, the artifacts are the evidences. These all places we call as sites. Hoosanghi is also an example of such a site. Next chapter we will learn about them more. Till then, thank you.